Oh, God. Okay, I would like to start by asking you 3 questions. And I want you to answer by raising your hand. You know this by now. The first question is, who wants to make good, conscious choices for a better world? Second question, who wants to change something in your life but you don't know how? Perfect, thank you. Last question, who loves pizza? Yay! Today I'm going to talk to you about how to live a kind life. How small steps can lead to big changes. And how you can save the world. You see, we all want to be good people, but we also love pizza and brownies and just laying on the couch all day watching Netflix. But, oh my God. Why? Because we are a little bit lazy and definitely creatures of habit. We want a change, but we don't want to change. I didn't only change, I became a vegan superhero. My superpower is that I feel and acknowledge feelings. And my weapon is plant-based food. And you can become a vegan superhero just like me and save the world, 1 meal at a time. And I'm going to tell you how. I grew up in a totally normal household. We ate meat just like everybody else because it was cheap. It was easy to cook, and we liked it. When I grew up, my meat eating evolved into wrapping a pizza in bacon and calling it a snack. I used to stuff ground beef with cheese and then wrap it all in bacon, calling it a meat sushi, which is kind of gross. I can remember at least 5 times when I ate butter with a spoon just because I liked the taste of it. I ate whatever I wanted to eat, and I couldn't care less, because I didn't know that there was an option. I didn't even know that meat and animals were the same thing. I mean, I'm not stupid. I just always divided animals into 2 different groups. On one side you have the cute animals, the ones you see in children's books and toy stores, the ones you cuddle with and love. On the other side you have the meat animals. And they aren't really animals, they are more like plants, like meat plants. You grow them and harvest them just like every other carrot or potato. They're not animals with feelings and family and friends. They're just there for me to consume. The big change for me came after a trip to Los Angeles. And I remember sitting at Pink's Hot Dog in the middle of Hollywood. And I ate this big hot dog with meat and bacon and cheese and onion and everything. And I turned to my husband and I said, this is too effing good. I will never go vegan. 2 weeks later, vegan. Because at the same time as I was chewing on that hot dog, I also wanted to change, but I didn't know what, and I didn't know how. Every time. The thing is, the first thing that happened to me was I saw this speech about how our dairy and meat consumption is really destroying the planet. And how many billions of animals that are being killed every year. And the second thing that happened was I began to feel a lot of different feelings. And this is the part where I could show you like charts and graphs and numbers of exactly how the way we are eating is destroying the planet. I could talk about climate change, animal abuse, or health issues. But I won't. Because people don't listen to numbers. People listen to feelings. You can throw hard facts in people's faces, and they will first get shocked, maybe a little bit offended, and then they will get angry. And that's when they stop to listen to you. I didn't get angry. I felt a great sadness. I felt sad when I realized what my lifestyle was contributing to. And I felt guilt and embarrassment when I realized that I had been avoiding reality for so long. But I also felt an enormous joy and happiness when I realized that I could make a change. Just the idea that if I change the way I eat just a little bit for a couple of days a week, I could make a big change for the world in the end. I mean, that made me feel powerful. I was at a stage in my life where I had no job or education, money, no plans for the future, but I could still make a change. And that also made me feel brave. And brave is the first step in becoming a vegan superhero. Brave is when you start to make changes in your life, as small as they may be. It can be a meatless Monday, or oat milk in your coffee, or just finding a great place to go to for lunch, as long as you do something. I didn't have any plans on becoming vegan. I just embraced all this new food with an open heart and an open mind, and an open mouth. Cheap joke. I couldn't believe that the food I had been joking about for so many years could taste so good. I was overwhelmed by all the new flavors and colors, textures, ingredients, influences from all over the world. I made the juiciest burgers with beans and quinoa. I made Swedish meatballs with sunflower seeds. I fell in love with lentil stews and lentil soups. I used to hate lentils. But now I love them because my taste had evolved. My taste had changed, just like me. This little experience, it didn't only change the way I was eating, it changed the way I was thinking. Before, I couldn't have cared less about animals. But now I found myself in front of YouTube on a Friday night with a glass of wine, watching clips of cute pigs bathing in a pool. Or, cows playing with giant footballs and sheep just bouncing around like crazy. And I was laughing and crying with joy when I saw these creatures having fun with their family and their friends. I began to see the world through new vegan-friendly glasses. And that's when I evolved into an everyday hero. An everyday hero is a person who makes excellent choices for most of the time. You eat as much plant-based food as you can, and you truly feel that you are taking a big step. And you are. Going vegan is not like a diet that if you don't give it 100% from start, you will fail and you will get fat and ugly and everybody will hate you. It's not like that. Going vegan is different for everybody, and you just have to find your way of getting there. My pro tip is that you make it easy for yourself. Find recipes and dishes that are easy to make and delicious to eat. You can take your favorite dishes and just veganize them, or find new ones, as long as they are easy to make. So take your time, plan your meals ahead, and just have fun with it. I kept on eating plant-based for 3 weeks. And I hadn't gone a day in my life before without meat. And I remember sitting at our kitchen table. And I turned to my husband and I said, "Is this how dying feels like?" Because I thought that by now my hair would fall off, my skin would become flaky, arms and legs would get paralyzed or something. But the most scary part was I was feeling stronger than ever. I was dancing out of bed in the morning, just singing. Oh, I don't know. I was flying on the way to the subway. I was working out like crazy because I had this extra energy that I needed to get rid of. And I was happy. I went to bed that night with a feeling of being kind and with a clean conscience. And I woke up the next morning feeling like a vegan superhero. I just knew it. And what do superheroes do? Well, they help people in need. And that was my goal too. My superpower was that I knew that people wanted to do good. They just needed the right tools. And I had them all because I had my plant-based food. The thing that had been my hobby for so many years now became my greatest asset. So Whenever I met people, family and friends who wanted to do good, I invited them to me. I cooked for them. And there were no talk about animal abuse, climate change, health issues. It was just an evening with great food. And that's when I became everybody's vegan best friend. But I wasn't done, because I was working on my most powerful weapon ever. And that was my plant-based food magazine, VEGO. Because I knew that if I wanted to reach out to as many people as possible, I needed a platform. And it was a big strength in taking an old format that people knew of, like a paper magazine, to show something new, like plant-based food. And I mean, if it's in a glossy food magazine, it can't be that strange and easy. So it made it easy for people to embrace the idea. I had no idea how to make a magazine. And people ask me that all the time, like, how did you do it? Well, as any professional would tell you, just Google it. I mean, I just Googled how to make a magazine, and I got this list, and I followed the list. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's fun, but it's true. I worked day and night. I worked like crazy, driven by this passion and conviction. I made all the recipes. I took the photos. I sold ads. I did the layout. I wrote the articles and interviews with help from my then partner. And a couple of months later, the magazine was a reality. And this week, we are celebrating 5 years. I mean, but it's fantastic. I mean, 5 years in a time where magazine after magazine is being shut down, and we are still here. And now I get that question a lot, like, why are you still here? And at first I got baffled by that question, because, I mean, I can cook, but I'm not a chef. I can write, but I'm not a journalist. I can take photos, but I'm not a photographer. I have no background in marketing. I know nothing about business. I couldn't care less about money. I just wanted to, save the world and make it a better place. And I tell people that, I make a magazine with kind food that makes people happy, with food that can change the world. We almost became like a best friend, grabbing you by the hand and showing you through the grocery store, showing you how to make good choices. We help you to become brave so that you can step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Soon I discovered that, I wasn't alone. There were a lot of people just like me who wanted to do good, who wanted to change, and who were proud of it. And that's when the magazine almost became like a community filled with vegan and vegetarian fighters ready to take on the world. And that's when I realized that this whole talk about being a vegan superhero, it wasn't just talk at all. It was reality. We may love pizza and brownies and just laying on the couch all day watching Netflix. And that's okay. As long as you want to do good, there is a way. As a vegan superhero, we are not all physically strong. Well, I'm not. We can't fly, we can't be invisible, we're not immortal. But there are a lot of different weapons and powers that you can use. You just have to find yours. So I want to end my speech with a challenge for you. And the challenge is to eat plant-based for 1 day a week. Just 1 day. Experience what it does to your body and mind. What are you feeling when you eat kind food with a clean conscience? And find your powers, whether it's the crunchiest falafel ever made, or just vegan desserts all day, or just a great restaurant that can make the food for you. The point is, you can do it. We can all become vegan superheroes and save the world 1 meal at a time. So, good luck and thank you.